Let's get it, man. Back again. Another episode. Straight into it. Best world NBA champions in the world. You heard it here first, Craig. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the guy who commented last stream. That's what we're looking for, man. Interaction. Looking for people to tap in, watch, look after. I had a lot of people that I was saying Anthony Edwards is next up. And I like that answer, but pump your brakes, guys. Pump your brakes. But yeah, man, best world champ, best NBA world champ ever to do it. Best NBA champ ever to do it, man. Shout out to Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, them boys. They went crazy. They did their thing in this year's championship. But I probably wouldn't rank this as one of the best championships ever. Personally, that's just me. Personally, that's just me, man. I I look at Jokic as one of the he's about to establish himself though as one of the greats though. That is a fact. Coming out this championship, I see Lil Bro getting better. I definitely see Lil Bro getting better. He enjoying his time out there in Serbia or wherever he's from. I have no idea. Shout out to him. Um, I have no idea, but shout out to him. You love to see it though, man. You love to see it, mate. I love to see it, mate. Who won the last one? Steph, no. Now, if the Celtics would have won, I probably would have had the Celtics. I probably would end up having the Celtics. Tell the truth, that would have been a very tough championship, beating somebody like Steph Curry. Although they were the better team, so I give Steph credit, but they just like shit the bed. They just pissed the bed. Celtics definitely had them. Should have beat them. Definitely should have beat them. But that one went too. I wouldn't call that one of the hardest. As far as like in the past 5 years, if I just looked at the past 5 years, I had to grab the toughest. It's 2022 right now, or 2023 right now. Um, Jokic, Steph. Who was before that? Giannis. Yeah, Jokic, Steph, Giannis, Bron. Jokic, Steph, Giannis. Oh, is Kawhi in the past 5 years? Is Kawhi in the past 5 years? I think Kawhi was before. Kawhi was the year before Giannis. I mean, not Giannis, but Bron. What's the bubble? 2020. Hell yeah, 2019. Because the Warriors repeated before that. So who had the toughest from Kawhi till now? Kawhi, Bron, Giannis, Steph, Jokic. Um, who had the toughest? Who had the toughest? Maybe Kawhi. Maybe Kawhi. I might have to give it to Kawhi. I think that was a pretty tough championship he won. He had some pretty good battles going through that. I mean, the Warriors was hurt, but that just goes to show how weak these championships is. And I really don't want to probably won't. Maybe got to give it to Bron. Then I guess you got to give it to Bron. But they played against a hurt Miami. Who played against somebody? What's good with it, Dev? What's good, gang? Big Noti gang, man. Shout out to y'all. Make sure you guys leaving a like for me, man. We get us out there, man. Leave a like, drop a like. Find a rate of people, find a rate of folks. Get them in here. Drop a like. Simple as that, man. Listen to the stream. Drop a like. Listen to the stream. Talking about best, most difficult championship in the past 5 years. Right now, though. Right now, um, I would say it's probably Brian. Cause I can't say Steph. Now in the past 5 years, just past 5 years, we're gonna get to that though. We're gonna get to that. I actually do rank that one pretty high. That's like top three. That's the top three for me. And but when you factor more into it, like it's other things that go into it. Why Cleveland 2017. I mean Mavericks, my bad. Why Mavericks? I'm gonna just go ahead and say it now. I already said it. Like I think the most difficult, the best championship ever was most difficult, like best world championship, best world NBA championship was damn near the Dallas Mavericks in 2011 or the Pistons in '05. Either the Pistons or the Dallas Mavericks. One of them two are for '05, not Pistons from '89. Although I do think '89 was a very tough championship. That's like top 5, top 10 for me as far as like what they had to go through. But who I said, yeah, the Pistons with Chauncey Billups, and then Dallas Mavericks with Dirk. That was a tough championship, bro. And nobody on Miami was hurt for real. Nobody on Miami was hurt for real when they won. Bubble, I do think the bubble was the best one in the past 5 years, though. Let's just stay there. I'm gonna get to what I was talking about just a second ago later. Past 5 years, you kind of got to give it to the bubble. Like I said, Curry, I think Curry had a fairly easy championship, even an easy route. Who they played in the first round that year? I can't even remember the first round, but I know they played against Luka in conference, and then which was probably they toughest matchup. I think they played the Nuggets in the second round, and I can't remember who the first round was. Can't remember who the first round was, but it was just all easy. Like it was just all easy. Well, I don't know. Maybe they just made it look easy. Jokic was hurt too, or not Jokic, but Jamal Murray was hurt. Um, Jalen Brunson was healthy. He was just coming into his own. Luka was hooping, but that one I just can't give it to Steph Curry and them boys. They was stacked. Curry was on his MVP shit down there. He was. His only reason his was like second most difficult because I'm not giving it to Giannis is because he was having a bad year. Curry was having a down year, probably the worst year of his career, like his entire career statistically. I would assume, as far as like shooting splits, that was probably like his worst year ever. So to have been like that was the year he had that drought going on in January, where he just like couldn't buy a bucket. Shit was just bad for him. But so I would say it was a little difficult in that sense, but I can't just say it's difficult because he showed up in the playoffs, and he knew he was supposed to. He knew he had to show up in the playoffs. So I'm not gonna give it that. I'm gonna stick with the bubble. The bubble was a tough one. Bron and AD, they was already rolling. They was already rolling going into the playoffs. So with that being said, it was, unfortunate that COVID happened, but I don't know. I just feel like they played a lot of great people. I feel like they played a lot of great people en route. The Miami Heat was hurt, so it's hard for me to give it to them. But they had some tough matchups. They did go against. They went against Portland in round one, and everybody was saying Dame was gonna do it. Like not everybody, but a lot of people. Like you had a lot of people talking about Dame was gonna do it because he was like playing so well, and then you got what the next round was the Rockets, James Harden and Westbrook. See, like their route to the playoffs, to the finals is why I would damn near give it to them. But and then COVID, I remember how COVID affected everybody. Although I don't think it was tougher basketball, I don't think it was tougher basketball. I definitely believe that I definitely believe that they still like, you know, everybody still had equal chance. Like people try to say it was like a disadvantage. I believe it was like equal chance for everybody. Although it was COVID, I don't think it was like some Mickey Mouse. Like I don't think it was easier. I don't think it was tougher. I think it was just a regular. I look at it like just regular basketball, nothing too crazy. And like I said, it was their route. They played against Jamal Murray, who was really coming into his own. Nikola Jokic, he was already himself, about to be an MVP, and yeah, bro, it's just that simple. That was a tough one. Um, who did the Warriors play in round one? in 2022. Let me look it up. Let me look this up. I should know this. The Warriors played in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. Oh, they played the Nuggets in round 1. Oh yeah, that's right. They played Nuggets round 1 and then Memphis round 2. I had it back. I had it switched around. Murray was hurt. They played them in round 1. Whooped their ass in 5, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, so yeah, like I guess that was kind of See, that's not tough. That's what I'm saying. Like they went against a hurt, and then Ja was hurt, and that's still a young PG who ain't proved nothing. I just gave Murray props though in 2020, but he was hurt, so that don't count. Murray was hurt. I just said, and then Dallas Mavericks. Like, what if they proved that was their first time ever going to conference? Only reason they won is because like karma. Big win, COVID plus Kobe passing. Yeah, that was crazy. Rest in peace, Coaster. Rest in peace, Coaster. That was a good one though. That was a good one. Giannis, I really can't give Giannis, like I can't say it was Giannis because he played, and that's why I'm not giving it the same reason I'm not giving it to Curry is why I'm not giving it to Giannis. Like when you look at the team who he played, and then also playing against old Chris Paul, and then a Suns team who hasn't proved anything, and then you got the Atlanta Hawks. Can't believe he played the Atlanta Hawks and not the Brooklyn Nets. It's just so crazy that the Brooklyn Nets made it. And it would have been, I think, the Nets versus the Hawks, actually. I got it backwards because they should have beat the Bucks. But that was the year the Nets was supposed to win a championship. It just sucks. Injuries suck. But that was by far, like, their best chance at winning a ring. I think they played Miami first round. Probably, like, Brooklyn second round. And then but Brooklyn got hurt. Like they broke down and they still almost lost to them. So it was like, what am I even like? I don't know, bro. I don't give them any props. The Hawks got hurt too. The Hawks got hurt. Brooklyn got hurt. Miami was hurt. Suns was hurt. That's definitely not the best one in the past 5 years. Warriors at least play because they was playing against injuries too. What about Jokic? Jokic beat the Lakers. Jokic beat He beat the Timberwolves in round 1. That was a decent little win. And then he beat the Suns. He beat KD and them, but they was hurt. If I'm not mistaken, they was hurt. The Suns had some injuries. Yeah, definitely not Jokic. I'm not giving it to Jokic. Miami was so ass. That's probably why I damn near don't want to give it to LeBron. Like Miami so ass when they get to the finals, even though they was kind of competing at least against like Bron. It wasn't as bad as it was against Jokic. That shit was pitiful. Yeah, can't give it to Kawhi because the past 5 years in the champ, the past 5 years of the NBA have been kind of poo, as far as we talk about like rings and shit. Kawhi damn sure don't get it. So it's Kawhi, and then COVID happens, Bron win. Yeah, these are just bad rings. But I'm gonna give it to Bron. I'm gonna give it to Bron for best ring in the past 5 years. Not by like no landslide because he played against Miami, but at least his route too was tough. The Celtics, if it's just, I don't know, bro, because the Celtics against the Warriors, like the Celtics should have won that. Like just looking at the teams stacked up against each other, you looking back at this in history, people were probably gonna look at it and be like, "Damn, how did Jason Tatum lose to that?" Like, I'm pretty sure Jason Tatum about to turn into top 3, top 2, top 3 player in the NBA in the next few years. Like he gonna have his few years, like just like Joel Embiid did. Just like certain guys. I don't think he can ever be the face of the NBA, but I do think he'll have an MVP season where he's competing for that 1, 2, 3. I'm the best in the league. Some might say he just had it this past season, but I don't believe so. Hell, Curry was better than him last year. He just got hurt. He just fucked around and got hurt. You feel me? But Nah, I give it to Bron. I give it to Bron. Cause why not? Why not give it to Bron? He done got damn every other award. He done damn broke every other record in the book. Might as well give it to Bron. Might as well let Bron have that shit. I ain't mad at it. Bron like that though. It's not many discourses like NBA discourses where you can talk basketball and Bron not gonna come up. And Bron not gonna come up. Like, let's just be real. It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. But I ain't tripping on it. I feel like he earned that. He definitely earned that. And not just that. And not just that. I done got a new perspective on like the whole GOAT debate when Mars over on Player's Choice went off about went off about how they was calling Jordan the GOAT in his first three-peat. Although I will say, three-peating, and this is just about, like, I guess this whole stream is about championships, but like I guess three-peating is something that had never been done before. They got into a whole competition and yelling argument about what's glazing and like that. Basically, they was glazing Jordan just based off of the face. It's crazy. The word glazing probably be TOS on Twitch one day. Like, that's how crazy Twitch is. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. Like, when you got dang, go out there, bro. I don't know. It's not really up for me to decide. He three-peated. That's major. That's something that had never been done before. Jordan is also a guard. He was playing how nobody had never played before. He already won hella awards. You do that, and then you win a championship. And one championship is already major. Like, the craziest part about it, like, just winning one ring is already something that could put you in talks that you just was never in before. Which is why I keep talking about how Trae Young ends up on the goddamn a very high list. Like, he's much better. Is much better for basketball discourse, I believe, if Trae Young wins a championship. Like, just the way people talk sports, anything and everything in ratings. Like, I think people would rather him win a championship than Luka Doncic. I think Luka winning is cool and all, but Trae Young. Imagine if Trae Young won back in 2022. I would put Trae Young's as the best championship if he went to the finals and won. When he lost to if he like imagine if he never got hurt. He actually had a chance at beating Giannis. That would be the number one undoubtedly. In the past 5 years, it wouldn't even be close. Like, that would 1,000% be the best championship in the NBA if Trae Young beat anybody. How old was he? You know how old the nigga was. I don't even know how old he was. But he didn't win. Giannis won. So that's probably like number 4. Number 1 is Bron. Number 2 is Curry. 3. I'm gonna give it to Kawhi because of his route. I know the Warriors got extra hurt, but who didn't? I guess I'll give it to Jokic. Jokic and then Kawhi. And you already know who last. You already know who last. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. He played against Trae Young. I hurt Miami Heat. I hurt Brooklyn Nets. I hurt Trae Young. My bad. I started with Trae Young. That shit was already crazy enough. So, I mean, what more can we say? What more can we say about it? It is what it is, Slime. It is what it is, Slime. I don't make the rules. But going into all time, just go ahead and put this pivot because we just ran on about that for about 20 minutes. I can create a timestamp there. That's good for ratings, man. You guys, if you out there listening, make sure you guys hit that like, tap in, join the basketball talk. Probably have somebody up here. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday? Yeah. See if we can get a guest up here Friday with me. Even if it's just for about 20, 30 minutes, we're gonna let it rock out. I don't know though. I guess if you go all time, NBA all time, and I'll probably just do like the last 30 years because um I don't know much about 80s. I know a little bit about the 80s basketball. I've looked at a few of them playoff runs with Isaiah Thomas. I looked at a couple of his playoff runs with Isaiah Thomas back in 1998. Just being like a student of the game, figuring out, learning, learning teams, learning old players. Because there was a lot of good teams back then. It was more big man dominant. Game was way more big man dominant back then. Although I know you only hear about like the same three guys from the 80s, like three, four, five guys. But it was still like hella big man. But yeah, it was just it just was what it was. It just was what it was. You look at some of them games between the in 1988 in the 88 finals between the Pistons and the Celtics, bro. It was a dog fight out there. Like NBA was crazy. People love to hate on it. It was really not as barbaric as you may think at that time. Like them Pistons was dirty as fuck, but Isaiah Thomas went out there and hooped. His ass, his ass got back to back Finals MVPs, bro. And he deserved that shit. That second, that second one I think was much more difficult than the first. Um, Isaiah's 98 run was impressive. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like well, just starting with the Bulls, I feel like the Bulls was better the next year. Them having to play against them in conference, I think they was just better that year. So that was just a tougher matchup. The Bucks when they was bro, I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I do rank that 89 in my like top 10. Just a few honorable mentions, I guess. 89. Um, it's hard to say, bro. Hard to say. I feel like 2014. I honestly feel like 2014, although Wade wasn't himself and Bosh really wasn't himself either. I feel like 2014 was a good year. I think that was a pretty tough year. You look at they wouldn't have got it done if Kawhi didn't perform in the way he did. That's just some shit that you just can't buy. You can't buy that type of shit. Kawhi coming in there handling his own. He probably only averaged like 17, 20 points, nothing too crazy, but you know, that's just like I said. I feel like that's one of the more slept on that people don't bring up. People not really talking about for real. But I fuck with it. Um, 20, 2010, 2010 was a good year too. 2010 was a good year too when Cole won. Cole winning in 2010 against the Celtics. That was a great year. Rondo, Ray Allen. They was I don't know. I mean, because the year before when the year the Celtics won, because KG was hurt down there, so I ain't gonna call that cold year. That the second year they won, I'm not gonna call that one that good. KG ended up hurt. He wasn't really himself, and you could tell. I think they still took him to 7 though, if I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing like a Derek Fisher or Ron Artest did something major. Like I remember seeing something like that. Um, but you never know. It is subjective. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide on who you think the most difficult and what you would think the most difficult um, ring is in NBA history. I mean, in world classic NBA history. That's crazy because in that clip, I put a clip up and Luca was actually off ball. He cut in some motion. Like the Mavericks gonna be fine. I got them winning the ring this year. Dallas Mavericks. They're gonna go up against Cleveland, or they're gonna go up against Cleveland or mm, where James Harden gonna end up. The Washington Wizards, bro, they might fuck around and end up in the finals. Jordan Poole and the Washington Wizards, they might make their way. Uh, I don't know. I actually don't know who's coming out the East. Who could get better? I mean, I guess maybe the Milwaukee Bucks have a chance. I guess maybe the Milwaukee Bucks have a chance. Milwaukee. The Knicks could gel and get better. I think the Knicks could gel and get better. I can see them making some noise. Julius Randle keep working on his game in the offseason. I couldn't see how it wouldn't provide. I couldn't see how it wouldn't provide. I don't know, provide pressure to any of the teams in the East. I really don't believe in none of them. Brooklyn could damn near make some noise. We don't know how good they're gonna be. We don't really know how good Brooklyn gonna be. Man, see, this is not gonna be that's what I'm saying. This is not gonna be a tough championship. Then, like, this one's gonna have to be easy for whoever wins it. And I think the West's gonna win it. I got the Mavericks. I definitely got the Mavericks winning it. I'm wondering if the Sacramento Kings can hold up. You know, making one playoff run. That's cute and all, but you ain't even make it out the first round. Same with Ant-Man. Same with Anthony Edwards. We sitting there talking about he could be the face of the NBA. He ain't even made it out the first round of the playoffs yet. He ain't even made it out the first round of the playoffs yet. If y'all think he could be the face of the NBA, y'all must think De'Aaron Fox can too. Hell, De'Aaron Fox has accomplished more than Ant-Man has. If we talking about accomplishments. Nah, but Anthony Edwards got the skill set, so I do understand what people saying. I do understand. And it all depends on who makes it too. It just depends on who makes it. Tell the truth. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it though. My team is the Dallas Mavericks. Is the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. I don't see how that couldn't be anybody's team. I don't see how that couldn't be everybody's team. 2011 Dallas Mavericks. Not only did they beat the team that just won the championship. Now I know they was hurt. I'm not one of them people that is gonna sit here and talk shit about they beat the returning champs or the last year's champs. But I will say they beat okay, so look. And they beat them in the second round too. So it's not like the Lakers didn't like the Lakers was just ass, but Kobe was in himself. He wasn't the same player that he was. What's good with it, my brother? Big Doodoo Gang in the building, bro. I appreciate you tapping in. I had a Discord, but I had goddamn ran that bitch into the ground. You know, I disappeared on my guys, and I don't think they rock with me no more. So I made a new Discord, man. We gonna get the new thing going. But what's good with it, my brother? What's good with it, Gangy? I've been I was just sitting there talking about the best NBA championship ever and best world championship NBA history, worldwide NBA history champ. And for me personally, I think it's the 2011 Mavericks. You know, playoff run has a lot to do with it. Chilling at the working stream is a good time for me. Nah, those are W's though. Those are major W's in the chat because you know we are trying to get the channel monetized. So we are trying to stream every day. We need to get on more people's. We need to get on more people's time, bro. We need to get the chat litty, bro. Watch you seen it happen on Twitch, bro. I'm gonna get this thing going, you know, from the ground up. That's all we can do, baby. That's all we can do, baby. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, tap in with the stream. Best NBA championship in 2011. No, I do got 2011 though. But I appreciate you though, bro. right when you get back home to smoke. Nah, that's perfect timing. I was doing some I was doing some what's the name in too, bro. I was doing some laundry. Gotta get the laundry going. I'm trying to do better at folding my clothes, man. I'm trying to do better at folding my clothes as soon as I wash them. There's no point in not folding clothes the moment that they come out. You feel me? The second you they out the dryer, they need to be getting folded and sent back into the drawer. I'm telling you, bro. Twitch went crazy. Yeah, Twitch did go crazy. Twitch did go crazy. I didn't like playing the game no more though. I ain't gonna lie. That's probably like the biggest thing. Like I just don't like playing the game, no matter what game it is. I might still get back on Twitch one day. You never know. I might not. It wouldn't really matter, bro. We've been doing content we never stop making content, Shout out Dribble Drown. Shout out Dribble Drown. Yeah, for no wrinkles. You feel me? If not, you can run a dryer for like 5 minutes. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. You could just run the dryer for like 5 minutes. But like you said, you might as well just fold it, bro. Like, might as well just fold it. It's not good to just let clothes just sit there. Hell, I could be folding clothes right now as I speak. I could be folding clothes right now as I speak. But I'm not going to. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it done tonight. I tell you that. Nah, but back to the topic though. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everybody out there. You feel me? Shout out to the guys. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to God. If you can run and drive for like, if not, you can run and drive for like 5 minutes. I already read that. Yeah, folding them. I feel like folding them is better though. Not gonna lie. But yeah, 2011 NBA champs. So what was I saying? 20. They ended up basically they ran through so this is crazy. This is the craziest part about how good the 2011 in hindsight, how good that championship is. So they beat in the first round OKC Thunder. Yeah, you can call them pups, but they went on to win. Well, they went on to be in the NBA Finals the next year, the following year. So they couldn't have been too much of pups because they made it to the finals the next year. Wasn't KD Warriors just the best team? Uh, KD Warriors were they the best team of all time? I don't know. I don't know. And oh, I see how you going about it. I guess I should switch it. I should switch it. Most difficult, I would say. I guess like what was the most difficult, like the most earned championship? Like what would you call the best championship, the best world championship? Not necessarily the best team, because if that's the case, hell yeah. I either give it to them or the 97 Bulls. Either them or like the 97 Bulls. The teams on that second three-peat. And then obviously Shaq and Cole, 2001. That's one of my teams. Brown Wade and Bosh were beasts. That's what I'm saying. So like 2011. So 2011, I hadn't even got to the finals yet. I'm just talking about that's the craziest part, bro. I hadn't even got to the finals yet. I'm still talking about just the journey too. I'm just talking about the journey too, bro. So this is the number one toughest championship in NBA history, bro. 2011 Mavericks. San Antonio Spurs. They beat they didn't even play the Spurs. I'm tripping. They didn't even play OKC. I mean, okay, they didn't even the Mavericks, they didn't even play the goddamn. I'm tweaked out. Did they? Wasn't that the second round? They played Kobe in the first round. They played Kobe in the first round, didn't it? Now I'm confused, bro. Now I'm confused. I gotta look it up. I gotta look it up. I'm dead confused now. 80 Celtics or Showtime Lakers too. 80 Celtics was hard too. That's facts. That's tough. Now you can. It's cool. I enjoyed the input. It's all good. So they beat the defending champs. They beat the Lakers. They went on to beat OKC. Did they beat OKC in the second round or the third round? You can't even. I can't even look on Google. I'm trying to look on Google. Motherfuckers have fake brackets. Fake brackets. Like what? The Bulls did not win. I'm a Bulls fan. I know the Bulls did not win in 2011. It would have been historic. All right. So in the first round, they beat Portland. And you know what's crazy? I capped. I capped. It wasn't historic as I said because Portland was not that hard. But one thing about Portland, LaMarcus Aldridge was shooting like 80% in game 1 and 2, bro. I kid you not. He could not miss. Like, bro, damn near came out there and we thought he was gonna win. I think they could get 8. All right, so look, they beat Dallas. They beat Dallas. So then second round, they fucked around and swept the Lakers, who just the Lakers just beat New Orleans. The Lakers was defending champs. So first round was not as impressive as I thought, but when is first round ever too impressive? Like, come on now, let's just be honest. Let's not get started on the Kimball Walkers who Bron has faced. You feel me? The Julius Randles, I mean the Drew Holidays, rookie seasons that Bron has faced. Like, let's not do that, bro. So, and I ain't even mean to make it about Bron, but yeah. So they sweep the Lakers. Next thing you know, they got to go against the next year's champs, bro. They got to go against the 2012 champs, the guys that they didn't even know was about to win. That's what I'm saying. They beat them. They beat OKC. They beat OKC in 5. They beat OKC in 5. I ain't gonna lie. They beat OKC in 5. And then what do you think, bro? If you was watching the NBA at that time, which I'm pretty sure anybody listening to this had to have been, at least at that time, dog. Miami wasn't supposed to lose. They were supposed to win 6 championships. They were supposed to win at least 5 championships, 5, 6 championships. So I say that to say, Miami came in, and I remember, bro, after game 1, like Miami, they just they was hooping. You know, I'm gonna give it to them. They was hooping, but like I don't know. I don't know if it was a coach's adjustment. Maybe it was I guess listening to Mark Cuban talk about them switching to a zone on Brian could have had a lot to do with it. But Dirk showed up, bro, and that's really all that mattered. That's really all that mattered. Dirk showed up. He beat Brian, Wade, Bosh, Mario Chalmers. I think Shane Battier was there, if I'm not mistaken. And if y'all know Shane Battier, Kobe said Shane Battier one of the toughest guys that's ever guarded him. He probably I don't know if he said that word for word, but he said something. He said something about Shane Battier. So you get Kobe talking about you, you straight for real. All right. So that's number one. The second best championship in NBA history. Look, yeah, Shane Battier, Mike Miller. I think Mike Miller was he played, he wasn't hurt. I don't think Buddy was hurt. I only had to look up the roster. Like I was peak. That was like peak watching basketball for me. That was such a good time, such a good era. Next, I'm gonna have to give it to Bron. Nah, I'm not gonna give it to Bron. I'm gonna give it to the Pistons, bro. I'm gonna give it to the 2005 Pistons. I'm gonna give it to the 2005 Pistons, 2004, 2005 Pistons, because at the end of the day, they beat, or was that 0304? I think it was 0304. 0304. The Pistons ended up winning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they ended up beating Shaq and Kobe. You know, Shaq, Kobe, um, Carl Malone. Fuck, shit was not what it was supposed to be, bro. That was not supposed to happen how it was. And then Like this early 2000s, bro. This early 2000s. So and they it's just the fashion that I will say the Lakers was tough too. When the um, Lakers beat the Nets, the year the Lakers beat the Nets, they went through that. That was probably the most dominant ring, one of the most dominant rings we've ever seen. But when the Pistons won in '04, they beat Ray Allen. You feel me? They beat the Nets. The Nets was that was like probably the main reason why I'm saying it was so tough. Like I thought the Nets, I didn't watch that like live or nothing. I was a little chick, but I went back and watched it. You would have thought the Nets was gonna win, bro. Nope, I kid you not. You would have thought the Nets was supposed to win that series, but they beat them, and then they beat the Pacers. And you got to remember the Pacers was just getting hot around this time. If I'm not mistaken, they had Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine was like establishing himself as like the best. He was establishing himself as like the best, one of the best big in the league for real. And and Shaq and Kobe didn't have good teammates in my opinion, besides Robert Ory. Yeah, they. I mean, I guess you could say that, but it's Shaq and Cole, bro. Like it's Shaq and Cole. You know, I agree with you. You know, I agree that they weren't. They definitely still weren't the same team that they were a couple years prior. But and Shaq wasn't himself either. Like it was kind of like the scales was kind of starting to tip and switch around between Kobe and Shaq on like who what their roles were for the Lakers. And so there was a lot going on. You know, as you saw, Shaq left after that year. Probably like I know there's more context to it than just what we talking about, but still. Um, yeah. But I gotta give it to him, bro. Like Chauncey Billups. I gotta give it to Chauncey and them, bro. Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups. They team wasn't I can't remember who they had on their bench. I can't remember their bench, but because I was crazy enough, I was actually living in Michigan like right after they won that ring. Me and my family, we moved to Pontiac, Michigan, and I will say that it didn't seem like much of a it didn't seem like much of an impact that the ring had on the city. Like that city was crazy. That city was the same as like down here. I live in Atlanta, bro. I think Tayshaun Prince was coming up. Was no, I think he was the starting three guard. 'Cause I was having a debate on what it would have been like drafted if they drafted Carmelo instead of Darko. Yeah, Rasheed was so tough. Rasheed was really like the biggest piece to that team, if you ask me. I love Chauncey, but Rasheed was that deal. Yeah, I can't remember the bench, but the starting five was hard. Ben, Sheed, Chauncey. But just the fact that they beat them in five, bro. That's probably like one of the reasons why I put it so high. Like they beat Shaq and Kobe in five. They really went into their house and they smacked up on them. Like simple as that. Simple as that. That's a high one for me. Um, oh, you missed it. I said I was talking about earlier in the stream the best. If I had to pick the best championship in the past 5 years, I didn't know Darvin Ham was on that team. The Pistons that won, he was on the Pistons. I knew he was in the NBA. I didn't know he played for that Pistons team. That's pretty dope. Shout out Darvin Ham. Shout out Darvin Ham. He didn't get no PT. I tell you that. He never played. And if he did, I never saw him. Never once. He had to average less than like 20 minutes. He had to average less than 20 minutes. Darvin Ham. Yeah, Darvin Ham, though. Shout out to him. That's something that I'm going to know for next time for sure. Something I'm going to know for next time for sure. They beat him in five, though. That's impressive. Wade, his ring was pretty impressive too. I'm not gonna hold you. They won the next year. If I'm not mistaken, they fucked around. Or nah, they didn't win the next year. They won in '06. The Pistons went to the finals again that next year, though. Pistons did go to the finals that next year. Who did the I feel like the Spurs have a lot of slept on championships. Like I said, like I feel like that 2014 is a very slept on, like as far as difficulty, because If Kawhi Leonard doesn't turn it into who he did, they don't really win that championship. They needed Kawhi to do that, and that just wasn't him at that point in time. But I think losing in the finals is what did it to him. Like he probably would have had a lot of conversations with his family or some shit like that, or some happened in that off season when they lost because they lost in 7 of that Ray Allen shot for real. And which I mean, I'm not saying Ray Allen saved them because I hate that people put that narrative out. Like Brian did a lot that year, to he really earned that repeat. He really should have. I believe he should have three-peated, but his team was trash in 2014. His team was washed. They was done. I really understood why he left. Um, I don't think people take that into account though. Brian was trying to like chase rings. Obviously, he wanted to win a ring for Cleveland, but like I don't think people realize how good he had to think of them teammates. Somebody like Kevin Love or Kyrie Irving to jump ship from a team you win a championship, so that he really didn't have to leave. They could have him and Bosh could have figured it out. Wade could have left, and it could have been their thing. They could have found something out. I mean, that probably would have been crazy. Probably been ugly because Bosh did end up getting hurt. But I feel like the Spurs got some slept on championships though. They would have to. They crept five. They slept like they crept 5 of them up in there. They got to have one or two sleepers out of 5. I mean, I picked the one in 2014, but I picked the one in 14, but it might down be another one down. I didn't know you stream from here. Yeah, I'll be on Twitter. It really, I mean, I'll be on YouTube now. I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube. You feel me? Start the foundation of dropping more content on here other than just my shorts. I really stream anywhere though, bro. I really stream anywhere. Yeah, Mavericks got the best. So the Spurs beat the Nuggets. What's this 2025? Yeah, 25. So in 25, they beat Denver Nuggets, which had to be Carmelo. I'm gonna have to go back and look at these games. I feel like the Spurs probably, and it looked like they handled them. They didn't see no game sevens until the finals. That's always a good sign. That's always a good sign, man. Make sure, hey, I appreciate everybody pulling up, talking NBA championship, NBA World Championships. Who do you guys think is the best NBA World Champ? Make sure you leave a like on the screen. Make sure you leave a like on the screen. Make sure you tap in. Keep that stream up. I feel like back to the program. I feel like they beat the Supersonics, so that's a pretty tough comp. Steve Nash was in the middle. That was his MVP season too. They beat him in conference, and then they went on to beat the Pistons, the defending champs. So I'm gonna have to look into 2005. I'm gonna have to look into 2005. This might be a sleeper year. This might be a sleeper year. No cap. Uh, Wade's though. That's the what I was really talking about. Wade. Wade had. I think the Pistons. Did the Pistons make a trade? I think they still had the unit. I think they still had the same unit when they won. Um okay, when Wade won his ring, that was very impressive. I ain't gonna lie. So Wade beat Kurt Heinrich and them boys in round 1. And then the Nets, and then the Pistons again. The Pistons was making noise in the mid 2000s, bro. They need to get more respect. Pistons was making hella noise. Not only did they win a ring, but they was making deep playoff runs. They made it to conference 3 years in a row. They made it to conference final. The Pistons with Chauncey Billups made it conference 3 years in a row. They probably thought their organization was turning around. But that's what I'm saying. Like Trae Young winning a ring, if he wins one in the fashion that the Pistons did, I guess the Pistons have won rings before too. But if Trae Young does that for Atlanta, I don't think we've had a championship since the 70s, since the 1970s. I feel like it's just impacts. This is one of the most impactful. That would be one of the most impactful championships ever. I'm gonna make a video about that. I'm gonna make a whole video about that. Like that's like one of the most impactful rings that could. Like that's more impactful than Luca, D Fox. That's almost as impactful as like a three-peat if Trey Young win a ring. Like I'm telling you, bro, Trey Young winning a ring is not normal. Like I just think I was thinking through that 2022 or 2021 championship run that I was thinking through that 2021 championship run that Giannis had. You think the Hawks can contend with Trey? I actually do think they can, bro. Like they put the perfect teammate with him with DeJounte Murray. I feel like the East should be scared. Like the East wide open right now. The Miami Heat was just in the finals again. That's sad to say, bro. That's not a good thing. Not for history. Not if you ask me, bro. Miami Heat was hurt and they made it to the finals again. I'm a Trey guy. Yeah, bro. I think I'm turning into a Trey guy damn near. Like I've never supported him for real before, but like you just got to think about it. Like all Trey has to do is negative on defense and team chemistry. So with team chemistry, that comes with getting older. Like he said, if you watch his podcast, you say you're a Trey guy, so I'm assuming you watch his podcast. I think he seems like a pretty down to earth kid, or I think he's straight. I think he just he a superstar. I think he just got this superstar mentality. That's all I've heard in the media with him. But Trey, I don't know. I think you just need to put him around the right guys, get him the right vet. He ain't never really had no like Vince Carter was the only vet that I've heard him speak about where he just like that was somebody who he could really look up to and like helped him become a pro. So it's just about maturing at this point. He's not going to do nothing to get older. Trey's still what, like 25, 26, something like that. These guys are going into their best years. I don't see how you can't contend with Trey. He already made it to conference. I'm not that big on Trey, but you can't deny the accolades. And his biggest thing, you can't focus on like he's a negative on defense. He's always gonna be a negative on defense. He's little. Like he's not just like, he's not just a guard. He's a little guard. Trey, not Trey, but Steph and Trey are like Steph is bigger than Trey. You feel me? Like he's smaller than PGs. So like I think Trey like 6 foot for real, 6 foot 6'1". So he's always gonna struggle on defense. So you just gotta focus on what you can change. He's never tried to play off the ball. I don't see how you don't learn to play off the ball when you have a teammate like DeJounte Murray. That's the whole point in bringing in a guy like that to alleviate some of the pressure. Like imagine, well, I guess Luka got Kyrie, but they need better. They need more defense around them. I think obviously continuity has a lot to do with it. Same thing with the Hawks. They going into their second season. They going into their second preseason together. You feel me? And I think him and DeJounte Murray like playing with each other. I've heard Trey. I've heard them talk highly about one another. Time to move on from guys if you don't need them no more, like a John Collins. I feel like John Collins been bad for y'all. Replace John Collins with a vet or some young talent that you can really get to buy in. All you gotta do is buy in. So yeah, that's like personally me, bro. I think Trey Young winning the championship is the number one most, maybe like Joel Embiid. If Joel Embiid or the Knicks won, that'd be pretty huge. Like the Knicks winning is something that I don't think you could switch how impactful that would be, just for the fact that it's New York and there's such a basketball city. They love that city so much. But maybe the Knicks. I'm gonna give it to the Knicks. The Knicks would be the most impactful championship, I think, to happen if there had to be one. But outside of that, maybe Brian winning it as old as he is. That'd be pretty huge. Like Brian is in year 20 or 21 or something like that. So to see somebody still compete for it, and if he was the best player on his team, obviously, see somebody compete for a championship like that, I do think that would be major. So the Knicks, LeBron, and then Trey Young, bro. Trey Young is the next. Like if Trey Young win the championship, it would be against all odds. Bro would be bro would just have to be recognized as better than Luca at that point. He would have to be. If he was the best player on the championship team, he would have to be. I wouldn't be able to hear no more talk about people telling me that Luka better than him because it wouldn't even be close if he won a ring. Especially if he that'd be crazy if he beat Luka. That'd be crazy if him and Luka went up against each other and he beat Luka. Then it'd be undoubtedly like I mean the fact that Luka made it to the finals would be huge. So I would rather Luka not make it to the finals if I'm pushing this Trae Young propaganda. But since I'm pushing this Trae Young propaganda, but I rock with the kid. Um, but that's just for people who like to talk. What ifs? Because you never know. Like Trae Young probably never see the conference finals again. Great players don't always see success in the postseason. You know, that's just what it is. T Mac, prime example. He tried to get in there with the Spurs, didn't work. Should have went to Miami. He should have got with the winning team. I was surprised when I didn't see I was surprised when I didn't see that man in a Miami Heat uniform when they was doing that thing. If you know what's good for you, is all I could think. If you know what's good for you, but it's not up to me. It would have been cool to see T Mac compete for a championship. Put all the talk the rest about. He probably don't care. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like people that got paid, like somebody like T Mac, they could care less what people say about them as far as like winning the championship or anything like that. Like he don't give a damn. And they got paid so much money. Shout out to Seth Curry back on the Wizards. I mean back on the Mavericks. Yeah, it gotta be Trae Young. The Knicks. So the Knicks is number one. If the Knicks win the championship, that would be the biggest thing to happen to the world, to the NBA world champions. Like that would be probably the biggest NBA world champion. Biggest thing to happen that would have like NBA Twitter, NBA world would blow up if the Knicks won. Obviously, LeBron James. I don't think Steph would matter. You know, I think people expect Steph to compete for another championship. They expect it to happen. I mean, same with Brian, I guess, but he not in year 2021. So, like, if Brian would have won this year, shit would have been major. Shit would have been major. If Brian would have won this year. Year 20. Just broke the scoring title. He really probably wanted that shit just based off of that. Yeah, Giannis wouldn't matter. Luka, like that's what I say. Luka is not even a thought. Nobody would care if Luka won a ring. I don't think nobody would be like pushing any type of propaganda that they not already pushing. People already saying Luka the best. So like people already saying Luka number 3 behind Joel Embiid and Jokic. Like I've heard so many people say that Luka is a top 3 player right now. He didn't make the playoffs. His ass looked like Shea out there. 30 points, but not in the PO. How crazy is that? How insane is that you averaged 30 and you didn't make the playoffs? I don't care how bad your team is. Like you need to focus on better things than just averaging 30, nigga. If you not making the playoffs, I don't care how bad your team is on paper. Like these guys are professionals. Y'all better figure that shit out. Get some type of synchronization going. Get some type of synchronization going amongst one another. It's not okay, bro. It's not okay. You can't be a top 5 player. People saying Shea the best point guard in the league. Nigga didn't make the playoffs. He didn't touch PO. He didn't even see the postseason. He can't even really be. And it's not even like team success is the only way you measure. You know, don't get me wrong. That's definitely not it. I still definitely got Shea as like a top 5 point guard. Top 5 point guard. Because y'all call Luka point guard. So y'all not about to get away with calling Luka point guard and not Shea. And I don't want to hear that he passes. I mean, he scores the ball. He don't pass it. He scores it. Luka scored that bitch. He averaged 30. Kyrie scored that bitch. He averaged 30. Uh, Steph average 30. They score now. Point guard score now. Like that's just what it is. I don't make the rules, and neither do y'all. So y'all need to stop trying to just call people to something that they're not. Like that nigga's a point guard. He go out there, he run the ball. He the point guard, bro. I don't care if I just said that ain't what it is because Luka do the same. Luka a small forward. He's 6'10". Nigga down 6'9". Ain't no way y'all about to keep calling Luka a point guard. Y'all got them about to list him as a point guard on NBA. Like, didn't he win? Didn't he win an all NBA point guard? That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense, dog. But it's cool. I ain't tripping. It's cool. I ain't tripping. What's another tough championship? Oh yeah, the Cavs. I haven't talked about the Cavs. Arguably one of the greatest. I mean, it's really not. I ain't gonna lie. It's hard for me to really say. Didn't they beat? They may have beat the Pistons or the Celtics. It's really not as far as like playoff runs. As far as playoff runs go, I can't really give it to the Cavs because the West was the East was so bad at that time. The East was so bad. Yeah, the Pistons. I knew they played the Pistons. They played the Blake Griffin Pistons, where I think Blake Griffin ended up getting hurt. Um, Shit was so bad. They beat the Hawks. They beat the Hawks in 2016. So that's probably like Dennis Schroeder. This is not even like Joe Johnson and them boys. Like this 2016, it's probably like Dennis Schroeder. Jeff T could have still been there. Jeff T damn near still could have been there. 2016 is probably by far one of the worst play. They beat the Raptors. Like what they did in the finals makes up for a lot of that playoff run. But 2016 can't be it, bro. I just can't give it to them. I'd rather give it to Cole. I know they won easily. I don't even think I think they swept their way through. And then they lost one game in the finals to the 76ers, if I'm not mistaken. If I am not mistaken. But it can't be 2016, bro. It can't. It just can't. It just can't, bro. Jeff T, worst hooper ever. He admits it on podcast. Bro, we've been talking about this since we were in high school, dude. That Jeff T just don't give it enough energy. That Jeff T just don't play hard enough. Like how? How is he finally admitting this on podcast, bro? Like we knew. I guess we knew it was it was coming anyway. Cause you could see it. You know, he would dunk on it's crazy, bro. He would dunk a nigga like he'd dunk somebody that's good, or he'd cross somebody over and do a little. He don't do step backs, but I ain't even about to act like he was hard like that. Like Jeff Teague did not do step backs. He could have if he actually worked on his game, but it's crazy to say the Hawks could have probably really competed for a championship if Jeff Teague would have tapped in. The way he talked about himself on his podcast, if bro really took hooping serious, when they had Jamal Crawford coming off their bench, and when they had Jamal Crawford, appreciate everybody out there too, man. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream, tap in with the comments. We love to talk basketball. Best NBA World Champion, episode 6, man. We made it to episode 3. Everybody say episode 3 was the that's the cutoff point. That's where everybody give up, but we going. Going. Best championship team got to be 01 Lakers or that Moses Malone 76ers team. See, not best as far as like most talented, but just like I feel like the way the best. How did I explain it earlier? I guess just how they went about winning it. You feel me? Like not necessarily most difficult, but kind of most difficult. You know, like just the best way it looked. Like me personally, I think the 2011 Mavericks was one of the best. I think that was one of the best. 2016 Cavs is not. That's not it. Like people will have you fooled thinking that that was one of the best just because they came back 3-1. It's not. Hell, the 2005 Spurs was a little bit more crazy than that, or more difficult than that because like the playoff run, bro, it's not just the finals. You know, it's not just the finals. It's about the first round, second, and third round. And the year that the Cavs beat the Warriors 3-1 when it was down 3-1, they played against the Pistons in round one that had like Rodney Stuckey or something like that, bro. Like probably not Rodney Stuckey. That's probably a little too. I'm late. I think that was the Blake Griffin Pistons, though, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been, and if not, it could have been worse than that. Like they could have been so cheeks. And then after that, they played y'all. They played the Hawks, who wasn't shit. Y'all was wearing them bright light green or bright yellow. Like y'all was wearing them terrible jerseys. Y'all had Dennis Schroeder's y'all starting PG. Like shit wasn't what it was supposed to be. Y'all made it to the second round though. Like kudos to y'all. And then they beating and we talking storybook best team, 2011 Mavs. Yeah, I said that too. I did say that too about the Mavs and the Spurs. The 94 Rockets I haven't touched bases on yet. I felt like the 89 Pistons was a good one too. I think the 89 Pistons was pretty major too. The teams they went through. And then they beat the 98, I mean the 88 was pretty good, beating the Celtics, Larry Bird now. But the fashion that they beat Jordan the second time around was just like it was just like cherry on top. But yeah, I got them. I got the Pistons, 2005 Pistons. That was pretty major. I like that. I like that run. I like the 2005 Pistons. 2004 Pistons. My bad. I think I like the 2005 Spurs. I haven't checked it out. I'm about to go look at it. Probably if not today, tomorrow. I'm gonna check it out and see what that run looked like because they beat the Nuggets, the Supersonics, and then like the Suns, and you know that's MVP Nash Suns. That's MVP Nash, and then Ray Allen Supersonics and Carmelo, young Carmelo. So 2005 Spurs probably was a really good run, and they beat the defending champs in the Pistons. They beat the defending champs in the finals. So 2005 Spurs probably like gonna move up on my list after I look. 94, I gotta check out 94 though. I haven't really, I'm a Bulls fan, so I really don't look at anything that happened in 94, 95 season. If you want me to be honest with you, me personally, I feel like Jordan won 8 rings. I don't even acknowledge what happened. My GOAT was playing golf. So I never like Hakeem. I got Hakeem ranked very high too, just based off of his skill. But as far as like what happened during them rings, I wouldn't even be able to tell you, player. I damn near just look the other way when people talk about it, but I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to check it out. What was so great about it? It had to be some type of greatness. I mean, it is Hakeem, probably like most skilled center to ever play the game. Hakeem is that dude. Hakeem is that dude when it comes to that footwork. But I tell you right now, he wouldn't have beat Jordan. I'll tell you right now, he would not have beat Mike. Well, nobody beat Mike in the mid '90s. Uh Brooklyn, bro. I'm still standing on it though. Like Trey Young winning a championship is the most important thing that could happen to the NBA. This is the third most important thing that could happen to the NBA. Third most important thing that could happen to the NBA. Number one is the Knicks winning. If the Knicks win a championship, that's it. Number two, if Bron win in year 21, that shit gonna shut the city down. That's gonna shut every city down. Every single basketball city gonna get shut down because Bron won. If he win in 21, it's crazy that he even has old heads for like going for him. He got people that was watching Kareem and them saying that he the goat. So you know Bron different. Bron is the barbershop. Like he's the undisputed GOAT as far as like to the consensus. Like I hear more people say Bron is the GOAT than Jordan at this point. I have Jordan over Bron, but it's not by long. It's not by a lot. I actually have Kobe better than Bron. Kobe number 2 on my list. Bad Boy Pistons for sure. Yeah, the Bad Boys Pistons was tough. Bad Boys Pistons was tough. Trey Young is number 3 though after the Knicks. After the Knicks or Bron. That could go either way. Knicks winning a championship is something that would have New York like glowing. But I feel the same way about Atlanta with the Hawks. Like with Trey Young, if Trey Young win a championship, that's something we never seen before. You know, like in this era, the city you live here, bro, like it would change everything. Roads will get fixed down there. Like the more high rise apartment buildings will get built. Like shit would just go next level. You feel me? Niggas rap songs would be insane. You know how many different bro, you know how many people that would get inspired from Trey Young winning a championship in the rap game in Atlanta? These young niggas. Just from a nigga like Trey. Bro, you know what would have happened if the Falcons won when Julio was here? Trey, that's what I'm saying, bro. Trey Young winning a championship is like Julio winning a Super Bowl for the Hawks. I mean, for the Falcons. Same principle. Same principle. Uh, nah, we can move on to another team, though. We can move on to another team. I think Wade ring was pretty valid. I didn't look at it for real. Let me look. I think Wade when he won in '06 was a pretty valid ring. Cleveland was not it though. I'm just gonna keep talking about that. Like they may have been down 1 to 73 and 9. Warriors team, back to back MVP Steph, Klay Thompson playing the way he was playing, Draymond playing the way he was playing. But I don't know, bro. Like that playoff run was just so weak. That playoff run was just so weak. All right, let's look. What's Wade hitting on? Who did Wade run through? So Wade ended up playing Kurt Heinrich them. I just looked at this. He played Kurt Heinrich them in the first round, played the Bulls. That probably was easy. The Nets, J Kidd, I think J Kidd was gone by then. This may be the Vince Carter Nets. I don't know. I don't know. And then he beat the Pistons. Like I said, the Pistons made noise in the mid 2000s. Pistons was making noise. He got that bullshit Chicago bias. Chicago, bro. The only thing I say though, the only thing I say about Hakeem, where I can give him his credit, is like I said, that skill. He got the number one skill at that position. Jokic could damn near take his spot though. Jokic could damn near take his spot. He keep working on his game. Jokic has a lot of skill. He really good going both ways with both hands, coming off both shoulders. His post footwork is pretty decent. It ain't as good as Hakeem's. He's not moving like Hakeem, not as agile or athletic. But Jokic, that dude, he won a pretty easy championship too, though. I ain't gonna lie. He won a pretty easy championship. I mean, I guess as far as names go, he played against some great players. He played against some great players because Rudy Gobert was out. Now was Rudy hurt? Yeah, never mind. Rudy Gobert was hurt. Rudy Gobert was hurt. Yeah, we gonna have a guest up here tomorrow. I don't know who, but I'm gonna probably get my dog Chuck. Hopefully he free and he can hop up here with me. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to everybody, man. Make sure you guys leaving a like on the stream. Helps the algo happen. Helps us get more people in here. Eventually, it's gonna be thousands in here, hundreds of thousands. Nah, but we are trying to get monetized. So every time y'all come through, do your thing. Rondo played for the Mavericks. I did not know that. I did not know that. Uh, who else? Who else? Who else? Wade was okay. Oh, 07 was the Celtics, wasn't it? Yeah, 07 was the Celtics. Let's see what they run was looking like. It's your boy Dribbler Drown, man. Endless content. Make sure you guys are tapped in at all times. Post bell notifications. All right. Celtics beat. Boom, boom. All right. Eastern Conference. It can't beat them. I know the Spurs won in 07. Damn, so the Spurs won it. Celtics didn't even make the playoffs. That's crazy. That's crazy. I know this one has. Spurs beat Cleveland 4-0. I don't even got to look at that. I know that's not one of the best. That shit so ass. Let me look at their run just to look. All right. Spurs beat the Nuggets. They smacked on. Yeah, nah. I know Steve Nash was still playing good because they beat the Suns. And then Jazz in 07? Who was on Jazz in 07? Who was that? Like Carlos Boozer? Was he on the team yet? Carlos Boozer was still young, I think. That year was so ass. Hakeem would have destroyed the Bulls' interior. No, he wouldn't have, bro. No, he wouldn't have, bro. Hakeem? He probably would have. You right. I'm not even gonna say he wouldn't have. I thought you said he would have destroyed the Bulls. He would have killed them in the interior, but he wouldn't have beat them, bro. Like Jordan, he even said in his documentary that that's somebody he didn't really want to see. But no matter what, Jordan willed. How do you think he ended up 6-0? That shit not by mistake. That shit not by mistake, bro. He put pressure on the other team playing against them boys. No matter how great somebody is, you end up playing against Jordan, your head get to hurt. You start throwing up the morning before. You feel me? You start to feel that aura when your ass wake up. Pistons had to beat Larry, Magic, and Mike. No one else had that path. Have Charleston White as a guest. Charleston White, hell. Him, shout out to Brittany Renner too, bro. Shout out Brittany Renner, bro. She's fine as fuck, but she crazy. She fine, but she crazy, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay away from those. Stay away from them. The ones that's fine but crazy, man. You don't want nobody like that in your life. You think she crazy, nigga. Wait till the way she gonna have you thinking, man. Stay away, man. Duck that. But yeah, no Charleston White, bro. Although bro be spitting, I wouldn't mind having him on. He don't talk. He don't care about no damn sports though. But hell nah. Yeah, the Bad Boys Pistons definitely had a tough go about. Three-peating is tough too. I will say that. I will say that three Peters, three Peters are they got some of my most respect. Mike did it, Cove did it, Shaq and Cove did it. I don't think it's no more in NBA history, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Magic did it. I don't think Moses did it. I don't think Bill Russell did it. I'm just playing. Bill Russell has won 11 in 13 years. You think his stupid ass didn't three-peat? You think his stupid ass didn't three-peat? Let me go look at it. Because I'm about to feel real dumb if he did. If he didn't. I'm about to look real damn stupid if Bill Russell championships won. All right, he won at 57, 59, 60. All right, 59 through 61. His ass four-peated. Hell, his ass eight-peated. Nine-peated. Huh? This can't be true. He won a ring 10 years in a row. This shit can't be true. All right, he didn't do it in 67. This dumbass nigga won a ring from 1959 to 1966. That's 3 years off. That's 3 years off from 10 years, bro. He won 7 rings in a row. That shit doesn't even sound possible. But you don't have to bring that up either, because I think it was only like 10 teams in the NBA, something like that, before the expansion. Um, yeah, 10 rings, 7 rings in a row is outstanding. Outstanding. Magic won a ring as a rookie too. Let me look at that one. That's a very impressive ring right there. That's a very impressive ring right there. What was it? What year he got drafted? 81? 81? 84? I'm not 80s. I'm tripping. I don't know. 79. This thing got drafted in 1979. And they won a ring, bro. On his accord. His ass was finals MVP. That's impressive. I gotta look at the teams he played though. I gotta look into them. I don't want to just know the teams. His ass beat. All right, let's see. Western Conference Finals. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see that now. They beat the Denver Nuggets. That probably was not Denver. It could have been Denver. They beat the Supersonics. Oh no, this ain't right. This can't be right. 79, 80 was his rookie season, not 78, 79. 78, 79 was not his rookie season. The other one. Yeah. We've been live for about an hour 20 now, man. I appreciate everybody that's tapped in. Shout out to y'all. Make sure you guys leaving a like on the stream. Make sure you guys leaving a like on the vid if you're watching it back. 1980, 1979, 1980. They beat Huh? What is this playoff bracket? It was a first round, a conference semifinals. Okay, I see. Oh, I'm confused. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, it's only 6 teams. What the hell? How did I not know that? That's why I said I wasn't gonna comment on 80s basketball, bro. I'm looking at this playoff bracket. There's only 6 teams competing. This don't even make sense to me. It's 12 teams in the NBA at that time. Well, 12 teams that competed for a championship. That's so random to me. Such a random fact that I just learned right now. So you telling me they didn't have to play in the first round because it was the number 1 seed. So the number 1 and the number 2 seed didn't even have to play in the first round back in 1980. The 4 and 5 compete for who plays against the first, and then the 3 and 6 compete for who plays against the second. And then the winner of that goes and they play whatever, and then whoever wins those two, they play each other for the finals. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. So the first round, so the 1 and 2 seed didn't play in the first round back then. the 1 or 2 seed in either conference didn't play in the first round. In the first round, I mean, in this, wait, what? The first round was a best of 3? Nah, this shit wicked. This shit wicked. I don't know. I don't know, chat. But what I do know is I appreciate y'all. I do have some laundry that I have to do. You know, we stuck it out for an hour and a half today. Stuck it out for an hour and a half. We'll probably be back tomorrow. Not probably, we'll definitely be back tomorrow. Cap off our first week, Monday through Friday bit. You know, y'all keep liking, y'all keep subbing, y'all keep tapping into the notification game. It's your boy Dribbler Drown. Another episode out.